Here we go. So welcome everyone. If you want to know if you are in the right place, we are on the KMGN course, annual course of 2026. This year we're speaking about the journey, our journey from strategy to changing to impact. And today we had one of the more cornerstone sessions, may I say, speaking about the core of it, about the strategy models. So I want to welcome one of our KMGN leaders, one of our friends, founders and leaders, one of our friends, Vadim Shiyarev from Russia. He was supposed to lead this session today together with Olga, but he will be doing it by himself. It's good enough. Olga is with us in her spirit. And Vadim, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So let's start. I'm so happy to see you. It's a privilege to deliver a model within the KMGN course. So it's a great opportunity to share our vision from SKIMC, Strategic Knowledge and Measure Management Community. And I'm happy to see some guys from SKIMC here today as well. And this course is about KM strategy model, which should be sexy, I guess, but I will start with a bit boring block. I have several blocks, actually three in my presentations, maybe four. Let's check. And first is pretty boring one. It's about definitions. I truly believe that you do know what is strategy, but let's double check that we are at the same page. I make it bold that it's not a work plan, not a roadmap, and not a list of initiatives. It's a way to go. And some of my friends always call it way to victory, but advantage, success, strategic objectives like a victory. More polite, maybe strategy is the art of choosing the path that leads us to sustained advantage. But anyway, it can be perceived as a victory. But let's talk about strategic thinking. What we are doing to create a strategy. Actually, we're thinking about that, and we are designing this path to victory. And we have to have ability. Yeah, it's a strategic thinking definition to design it. And a few years ago, Moria, Olga, and myself, we delivered a course, one more course, and we developed the definition for those days, 4 years ago. What is strategic thinking? It's a capability to see, visualize, develop, and plan the best future to have through deep understanding of the present and inspire others. It's important, not alone, or together with other strategic thinkers, to do it with you and drive it forward. So, and those days we defined strategic thinking and strategy. It's still almost the same. And what is strategic thinking? Many areas. How to see the big picture, how to understand possible alternatives, how to choose the best, how to advance ourselves to the best way to have it, how to make a decision. So it's about thinking, but the result is strategy. Yeah, it's a way to victory, the path to victory, to success. And my first question to you guys, just for a while, 30 seconds, just please share your vision, your assumption. Where do you see KM strategy within this framework? For you to see this framework, just show it one more time, and the question is below in red. Where you place KM strategy in this framework? Please text it in the Zoom chat. Maybe nowhere, maybe only in creative thinking, I don't know. Maybe everywhere, I don't know. What is your opinion? But I will read it. Yeah. Is everywhere. All steps, all three. Thank you very much. We are at the same page. In case you have question why all three, please ask yourself, because I have many KMs here. But just double check that we are at the same page, so let's go further. What is the business strategy? It's more complicated. We are always about set of choices. We are about competitive advantage, sustain one. resource configuration. So it's not easy, and there are so many definitions. I like Michael Porter's one. Actually, it's one of the fathers of the strategy, business strategy globally, and he talks about both competitive advantage and how to make competitive trade-offs, how to decide what to do to cheat is the best, and how to create value. And but on the other hand, another great guy, he's mostly talking about internal strategic resources and capabilities. So different objectives, different definitions, but can the definition be aligned? And once we will come to, I will not pay much attention about business strategy, you know it well. But let's talk about knowledge management strategy. Here is not definition about strategy, about KM. I like it a lot. Byron Young, he did several years ago, but I believe it's still pretty the same. And what is about models? What about strategy? And once again, I'm sure that you know much better than myself what is the KM strategy. You're implementing it, you're doing it every day. Support others, being consultants, and there are several like definitions around what we assume should be a KM strategy. And one more question, it's more difficult one than previous. How do you define KM strategy? Sorry for being fast in this boring stuff, but just what is your opinion? How do you define the KM strategy? Please text your shorter, longer, precise, or more like fantastic definitions via Zoom chat. Let's co-create KM strategy definition altogether once we did it. Rudolf is here, who was a part when we created a co-creation definition in Singapore 10 years ago, I think. Thank you for sharing. Thanks. Thank Alison. Serious initiatives. Yeah. Good. Thanks. Thanks, Manfred, for your feedback to Porter. Yeah. How can the company manage the knowledge? Good. From collecting to keeping to implementing, applying it, creating it. Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Let's maybe a few seconds more, just in case, and let's go further. Thank you very much. It seems we are at the same pages one more time. So good. Let's go further. And let's talk about how they align with each other, business strategy and KM strategy. It's important for today. Maybe it's most important topic because we will talk about a lot about that. And I will not read all the slides. My English is not the best to read everything here. I will just comment some stuff. So, but business strategy defines the company's direction, but what do KM, knowledge management strategy, ensures that the right knowledge, capabilities, and expertise are available to execute it. Yeah. So they are aligned a lot, and I like this slide. Actually, it's not fresh one, but I like it a lot, and I'm sure that there are several guys, several people, several experts on this call who have seen this slide before. So this slide shows pretty easy, pretty clear that KM strategy mostly serves to business strategy, thanks to Ron Young and his colleagues. And but there is a stereotype that knowledge management strategy is often treated as an operational initiative rather than a strategic priority. And maybe today we will look at KM strategy from another angle. can be KM strategic discipline? Can it influence on strategic results? And how much can it influence on it? And I like this statement in this block, green block, A block. So KM strategy is not a support mechanism anymore. I strongly believe in it, based by many cases, our personal experience and your experience, because we discussed it a lot during our all other projects. KM strategy can be a decisive factor of strategic success. And look at the KM this way. And to my mind, to Olga's and my minds, that KM can be a bridge in case to rely on Michael Potter and Jay Barney. So it can be a bridge, conceptual bridge between these perspectives. And so it can support business strategy or even strictly influence on it. And even we can say that KM transforms knowledge from an internal resource asset into actively deployed strategic capability that supports both positioning and performance, which we talk about. Not only positioning and performance, but I've just taken a few business strategy definition, but further we will see how it can be aligned with another business objectives. So that it seems to me, to us, that maybe it's time, not 2026, but maybe even before, time has come to position KM at the strategic level it rightfully belongs to. And let's look at KM today, KM strategy on a strategic level. On a strategic level, which will help us a lot to create and choose or adjust business model for KM business model. So it was a boring stuff about definition, but let's go to the more, how to say, practical one. It's about strategic models. There are many, and they have mostly all of them have the same nature, which is on this slide. It's a circle. I like this book. I read it, and there are 50 strategic thinking models. Actually, not of them are 100% strategic thinking models, but pretty close to, and good to know, and good to choose, good to compare it with each other, and so many of them. It's not only 50. In this presentation, I would like to show a few which I believe the most the best for us to discuss today, how can be interesting for us to look at when we discuss KM strategy model. Simon Sinek, very simple and very powerful. I can say smart and simple. Just 3 questions: why, how, and what, and there is a model. And in case you do it properly, you can create a great strategy, both business strategy and KM strategy. This model, shared by Balaji in previous courses, more complicated, but again, goals, objective, strategy, tactics. So I like this one. Maybe the most, but maybe I use it the most. It's a good one to define vision, objective, strategy, goals, and tasks. It's a link. Also tacit knowledge, explicit knowledge, vision, it's tacit, explicit actions, measurable. So it can be the model to be taken. This complicated one, but once again, it's the same nature, it's the same, how to say, logic of these models, and we can describe more and more models, but maybe the key question is not about the models, this or that one, but the key question is what to choose, how to choose the proper one. I like these trolls: choose the whole wisely. one will lead for the Morgenthau and others to a certain death. So what will lead us to victory, to success? And once we choose a model, we definitely framework our thinking and reduce the risk. But models that do not create strategy. Model helps us to do it, and we need to know all the models. No need to know all the models, but know how to choose and adjust it. Maybe the key question for this model. And let's look how the strategic thinking and KM strategy model work together. Actually, there is a list, like it's 14 or 16 KM strategy model, or like certain approaches, frameworks, canvases that can be called KM strategy model. Maybe most of them are not, but it's pretty close to be named as KM strategy models. I cannot say that I like these 5 more, but maybe it's pretty more close to be a KM strategy model, and they are different. The key mission of the slides, not to dive in each of the models. It's impossible within this model, this lesson, within 60 minutes, but just to demonstrate that they are different, and can be implemented by different companies. In case you will have enough time, I will give some examples of what company implements this model or that model. Some of them global, some of them local, some of them Russian, or the company I supported two big ones. But the key idea is to say that they are different, and we need to carefully choose it. Not only to link it with business strategy, which is important, but to achieve the best results. And of course, we have challenges. Actually, Olga and we collected 5, but I will share only 2 challenges. And first of it, it's a cornerstone question, as Morris said in the very beginning. Maybe cornerstone model, cornerstone question. Maybe you asked this question to yourself many times, for many years. What should we do? We should base our KM strategy on KM specific strategic models, which we can find or ask our colleagues to support. So there are many, not as many as general ones, or adjust, whatever, even adopt some of business strategy models to your KM strategy and leverage it for KM. Or should we develop a unique one? Maybe the best way just to create a unique model, because having so many, we can combine, compose like number 121, which will the best for your situation, for your company, for your objectives. Maybe it's not a cornerstone, maybe it's just a key question, maybe it's an important question to ask yourself. But second challenge, maybe even more important. More important, how to consider, how to perceive knowledge management. Maybe it's time to move from managing knowledge to winning through the knowledge, to achieving success, results through the knowledge. How we can look at knowledge management, knowledge innovation management, knowledge asset management, and all near. And what I would like us to do within the next 8 minutes, to be in, we will use Miro, I assume, and there is a board prepared, and the question is duplicated here. What are the what principles should guide the selection or creation or whatever, development, adoption, adjustment of KM strategy model? What what are the principles, how to use current model, strategy model, PM strategy model, NIA, and what are the principles to choose or create the model for you or for your strategy. Please share it within Moria.
Okay, first of all, I copied the link to Miro to the chat to those who didn't see it. Do you want us to open the rooms, or do you want anyone to do it as a single time work? To do it as teams or single?
As teams, maybe I don't know how many people we have in.
We have 45 people.
Okay, so, six rooms should be fine. Yeah.
6 rooms.
6 rooms should
8
be fine.
minutes. Here we
8
go.
minutes. Yeah, and we are almost done with boring stuff, and we will come to the sexy one.
Recording started again.
Okay.
So
good.
now you can continue. And
Okay.
B, I shared now in the chat of the meeting all the answers concentrated, copied from Miro to a Word document, one after the other. So if you want to refer, it will be easier. You have all teams together.
Thank you very much, Moria. Thank for your leading and support. So, it seems that Carol of us, KM leaders, today is to reposition knowledge management in the eyes of executive leadership, top management, CCUs, whatever we'll call them, elevating it from a support function to a true strategic business capacity. It's time, and I know for sure that someone did it, and in some organization, KM plays strategic role, one of the most important roles. So thanks for your answers, and thanks Moria to collect it and combine in one page. And let's compare your answers, your creative work, what Olga and I prepared to you today. We have chosen 14 from 20 plus, and there are 3 groups. First is a very, very business one. Let's go one by one. Business first principle, like a positioning, competitive advantage, mission, vision first, then all the rest. Yeah, it seems that KM strategy KM strategy model must originate from the business strategy. Maybe we will have another point of view in 20 minutes, but for now, 34 minutes after the start, it seems so. So it's should originate from this. Second principle, strategic fit principle. So what should we must reinforce, improve, whatever. Areas of excellence, competitive positioning, cost differentiation, whatever, innovation, core capabilities. We should think about that when we choose a model. We should be sure that it fits. And I would say in the beginning that not every model, maybe none of it, will fix all the principles shared by you and prepared by Olga and myself in this presentation. But of course, it's better for us to try to use as many principles, to follow as many principles as we can. Knowledge as strategic resource principle. Yes, it's many good experts and practitioners talk about that. So which knowledge is critical? Critical importance knowledge assets, key knowledge asset. How to do it, and so we should think about strategic resource and context. Actually, some of us, many of you, not many, a few of you, but several of you texted that industry is important. As far as I remember, team number 2 surely stated in their feedback that industry structure, industry nature, I would say, it's strictly important. Environment, yeah, you talk about environment as well. Whether it's turbulence, whether it's stable. uh, Today it's like a VUCA, TASI, BANI, so many words about uncertainty around us today. Uh, Organizational maturity and culture. I should put culture by bold and big letters, but culture is very important here. To be considered. Once again, maybe there is no universal model of which suits for every industry or culture or environments and habits. And second, next one, number 5, B45, difficulty and barriers awareness principle. Actually, one of the difficulties most of us are facing is that different vocabulary, different language, different culture within KMers and within CSUs, within board guys, vice presidents. So we talk different languages with them, and by we I mean KMers. Actually, I do represent here a board. So what I'm doing in my businesses and businesses I support, I'm a CSU. So in our scheme, it's a unique. We about not about KMers and KM practitioners. We mostly about company leaders which uses KM. So we can in Skink and myself, as my experience, we mostly look at KM from C-suites level, from company owners or company leaders. So, and can say for sure that it's a different languages. We should understand this barrier and be ready to overcome it, to speak on business language, not only on KM. So we should teach this language and understand it and talk by this language. It's a strategic one. What about management and organization? So it's another set of principles. Resource allocation, which is very important here. IT planning, HR architecture. So once again, you talk about HR, you talk about human assets in your feedbacks as well. And so yeah, it's important to be integrated. Not only these 5, it's more than these 5. But maybe HR, IT, maybe R2K is the case, and of course asset management, strategy for sure, operational, some other, product engineering, innovation. So it's a should be integrated. We should be ready to integrate it. And next one, should not be in parallel. So this model should the model we choose or adopt or adjust or create, develop, should allow us simultaneous movement across all this stuff. And these 3 points are so important. Actually, maybe it's the most important slide in this 1414 principles, because we should think at the same time about long-term goals, which is infrastructure development, culture development, yeah, strategic project and initiatives, which can be called medium goals, yeah, many projects, many task forces, initiatives, and quick wins. We are, as a KMers, should demonstrate to CCUs, to top management, to executive leadership, that we are not just talking, we really got results. We are really influence on the results. So these quick wins in a short term should be very important. So it's maybe the key principle. Maybe all of them are fine, but I assume that I like this love this the most. How we can balance it. Continuous adoption. No. Maybe this is the most favorite one by Olga. So it's not for a while, because strategy is not for a while. It's of course once we achieve our objectives, we immediately after set up the next ones. Actually, we stopped before we achieved the previous ones. So we should think about continuous adoption principle. So how so it's not for a while. It's I cannot say forever. It's long term. And resource reasonable principle. All the organization, even the most profitable one and most likely rich ones, are limited in their assets and their resources. So especially time, team members, knowledge, time the most. So we should think that we consume a lot of assets, but we return even more. So return on investment here should be the principle. How much we consume, how much we return as a KMS. And return on investment should be 100%. So we should be ready to explain that the return on investment to KM is higher than to another departments. So actually we're discussing how to sell present position KM to tops. Execution over documentation principles is like let me not talk about it much, but we are fine here, all of us. So it was the second block, and the value impact, the third block, were only four principles, here, and maybe enjoy this the most. The model must clearly define the strategic role of KM. Otherwise, we should skip it or not put to this model attention. Can I assume that you consider this not top 14 principles as a checklist? Yeah, checklist, like whether it means or not. What is the really strategic role of KM? Risk reduction, performance improvement, leverage, whatever, innovation acceleration, competitive advantage creation, which is by Michael Porter. It's a key company objective. Because based on previous principles, for example, industry nature, specifics, how ready we are, our culture, and all the rest. So we should clearly understand as a KMers what certain role we will play in this strategy, and why we choose this or that strategy model for our strategy. Because, for example, in company have one position, for example, leader, it will be one. How to say it, strategic role of KM in company has another position, for example, the best expert, another role. In company have position of best innovator, third role, or whatever. So even positioning can compare with company positioning, competitive positioning. So different positioning, different KM roles. We should clearly understand what position company has and what are the objectives to define the role KM to help our organization, support organization, to drive organization to achieve it the best possible way. Of course, result visibility. Actually, we talked a bit about that before when we talk about short terms, horizon, when talk about quick wins, but whether our results are visible, how leadership, how C-suite, how top management can see the results, how they can measure, how we can demonstrate it, how they will enjoy it, how will reward and recognize us, give us the reward and recognition, how we will become the best friends. Because actually it's about once we will become the best friends, and we will continue do our job smart, we will the best friends forever. Maybe all my presentation, Olga's and my presentation about how to be the best friend for top management, for leadership. and I should finish someday. Horizont, we've got it actually. It's and reflection principle. When we talk about strategic thinking, we talk a lot about reflections. Do we do our strategy alone, or do we do it, create, implement with others? How many strategic thinkers are involved? Do we consider by top management as a considered thinkers or just supporters? And we should challenge how this business model helps us to challenge the solution and testing it, challenging, involve other strategic thinking to reflect, to improve it. So it's important. It's not actually it's a bit new for strategy in general, but for us, it's when we're talking about KM strategy, it must have principle, I assume. So it seems that we've done we've done all 14. I believe after this model, I will take knowledge from Miro board and from list Mori created, and we'll have not 14 but 20. But it's enough to check. Mori?
Wonderful. I think that there is a question of Jana on the.
Oh, good.
And there's what Rudy's saying, so maybe we can, and also Josephine is asking a question. So if you can look at the chat a few minutes back.
I'll read out Jana's question because it's a very important question. So Jana's asking, Jana, why don't you only ask the question?
Let me read
it. Thank you. My question is, what if the company leaders prefer activity-driven for the moment?
Yeah, most of them like it. So, and yes, they do. They do prefer activity-driven for the moment. It's most of them, I guess, based my experience, and maybe your experience shows the same. But yeah, we are to change their minds. Actually, we are knowledge managers, so we are to, as I said, to promote, position, and sell KM as more preferable one. So by as I said, to show quick wins, to show better results, to demonstrate, or even with mathematics, math, how KM influence on organization results the best, both performance and competitive positioning. So yeah, we and once we use the model we use, it's a way to change their minds. So once we will choose or create the best appropriate model for your organization, for your company. So this model and the way you will present it, it's not only it's the way for us to promote and educate them, to show them the opportunity, to show them that we are the best direction to invest to. So we have to educate them, but speaking with them in their language and showing with them how KM helps them to solve their problems, to achieve their results. Actually, all our this model is about that, Jana. And thanks for the great question. So we should change their minds, yeah.
There was another question before Jana's question. I'm curious to know, so please look at it as well. And if you can refer to it.
From Rodolphe, will Olga answer for sure. Manfred, these are the several companies winning my awards. Maybe you check for those. This question. Oh, which one? It was Joseph. I'd be curious to hear from this group. Could you share?
There is a question by Josephine, yes, which Manfred answered. If you can look at it to hear from group.
Actually, no one will share KM strategy. Actually, I know for sure that in this group, for sure, I know in this group experts who developed many of KM strategies and KM strategies models and implemented it, and myself as well. But I do not believe that it's possible to share on the key principles or like short case study. Maybe microarts. When we run microarts, it's called make in CIS those days. Yeah, there were a good examples of KM strategy model in the Make Venus.
I can share that first of all, or I can add that first of all, as we said, next week we will speak about techniques, what to do when management won't even enable us to build a formal strategy. How do we act when they are not with us? A. B, as you said, we will have a case study to do with Mike Awards sharing their strategy. But I may add that when I worked on strategies, too many times it was too easy writing the strategy because the paper takes whatever we tell it. Or once it was the paper, now it's our computer and our document. And the trick, the key to success is not writing a strategy, but nailing down what will enable us to build the bridge that won't stay stuck. So let's assume that we have the acceptance of the managers to start. Because if we don't have the managers, the acceptance to start, we have to use the guerrilla approaches, like we will be speaking next time. But that is not enough. And the question is how to build not a strategy, but a good strategy. And what I found that helps me very much is something that's not written formally in no strategy, because everyone speaks about before it, find the needs and find the real needs and find the root core needs and map them and say what you're doing. And what I choose to do is add another question. And that takes me, that's why I use Simon Sinek's one when I can, and when I can't, I just do it behind the scenes. I ask myself, I'm looking at my proposed actions. Why won't it succeed? Where will be the challenges? Where will I find barriers? Why isn't it straightforward? Why do I need a strategy? And because a strategy is something I need when it's not straightforward. And when I ask these questions about what will cause it not to work, and if I find the root causes to these, it's even many times more important, or as important as understanding the needs themselves. Because if I understand the needs on the one hand, and then I understand the challenges, why it won't work, together with problem-solving techniques, strategic thinking, and with design thinking and creative thinking ideas, I can find a way where it can work. And then I can combine it into a strategy model. And that's why I love Simon Sinek, because of the how. Because in the how, I answer the question to the hidden question that wasn't out there. Why won't it succeed? So that's my addition for today.
Thank you, Maria. And I assume that Madan, Rajesh, Olga, myself, and maybe Arthur will share some of the such strategy during the Bangkok conference, March 19th. So, because we will have the project there, where we can, I assume, we'll let ourselves to share how it works. And I'm 100% aligned with Maria, or even I will skip this slide because actually we are running out of time due to the discussion, which is great. But I like the word breach as well, and here is the conclusion. Actually, Maria said almost like 100% the same. A KM strategy model should help organization build a bridge between their business needs and sustainable success, defining a clear and workable knowledge-based path between the two. So knowledge strategy is not about the document. I've said this before. It's about the way to victory, whether we believe that this model will help us to get victory the best way. And this is why I use the bridge, as maybe as you mentioned, during all the whole the presentation. There was a sign of the bridge here in the corner. Yeah, the bridge. And KEM can be considered as a bridge, not only with these two, as I said in the previous slide, but many others. And so we are coming to the end. We have 4 minutes, and I would like to ask you a question in 2 minutes before the ending, whether we can consider KEM as a game changer. Actually, there is a framework or canvas or model I like a lot, and we use it for KEM strategy model as well, and for strategy model, and we assume that culture, critical knowledge, and key assets, intangible asset, knowledge assets, strong positioning, and great purpose, which is why in Simon Sinek model working together pretty good. And it's a before strategy. Actually, it's something. We call it lifetime strategic development or creative spiral. So these entities, this solution we make before the strategy, before we do set up the objectives, and knowledge, critical knowledge, key knowledge assets, can be a part of solutions which we made before we start the objectives. So it means that we can look at KEM not as a discipline, as an approach, a set of approaches which helps to winning through the knowledge which we discussed. But maybe we can consider KEM as a game changer. Can we assume that in a modern economy, knowledge management, knowledge innovation management, knowledge asset management are not only leverage and enhance business strategy, but actually drives it? For me, and for what I experienced, I have, and not only mine, but I studied, and there is a trend that maybe in the future more and more KEMers will participate in setting the objectives for the strategy, not only drive it. So it's just a question for you to think, to sleep in it, with it, to think over. Maybe time change. KEM, it seems that KEM, especially altogether with the AI, can play more important role each next day. Thank you very much for this model. It was like 1 second, and there is a long list of interesting materials. Maybe you will take a look. Some of these articles I assume you know for sure. Some may be new for you, but it seems it can be interesting addition for this model. Thank you very much for this model.
Thank you, Vadim. You see that the audience is very glad.
Oh.